Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about PowerPoint templates because they can really make or break your experience in PowerPoint when making presentations. Now I just want to mention that there's different use cases for templates because sometimes you just need a few slides to look nice, and then there's also cases where you need to reuse it a little bit more and you want to work it in a more professional way. For example, you're working in sales, consulting, or you have pitches, you maybe have something for your organization or your teacher, you want to add content, remove content, you want to sort of play around with it and really build a lot of slide decks and in a more repeatable way. Now the reason I'm telling you this is because there's a lot of templates available online that might look very nice, but once you get to use them, it will start to feel very painful and you'll run into some issues very fast where you can't really use it in a professional and real life way. And that is why I want to go through the 5 things that you should pay attention to when purchasing a template or getting a template so it really fits your need. So I want to sort of avoid that you get the wrong one and get a little bit frustrated with a template that doesn't really work if you expect something else out of it. So what we'll do is we'll compare some of the templates that we can find online and compare them with one of my templates so we can really understand what the differences are and if any of those is a right fit for you. Because over the last year, I went really deep into Slide Master and into PowerPoint to really understand it on a foundational level so that you can use it in professional use cases and not have to waste too much time for it, but really make PowerPoint work for you. So let's start with maybe finding some of the templates and seeing what is available online. And for that, I'm going to start from Envato, and I really like Envato library, so I use it a lot myself. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to have a look yourself. But there's also this presentation templates. And this is something that a lot of people use if they're looking for templates online. They'll go to one of these databases and try to find something that really matches their style and the vision that they have in their mind for their project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter this to PowerPoint templates, apply filter, and that will give us a lot of the different popular PowerPoint presentations. You can sort them between new or popular. I'm going to keep it on popular so we see what the most downloaded ones are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of these decks. So let's see. And here we can see that there's really nicely designed slides inside of it. So a lot of people think like, okay, this is a style that I envision. This is something that I really like. I'm going to purchase this. I'm going to download it and sort of work with it. So we're going to do just that and download it and open it up in PowerPoint. And then let's compare it with another one as well, which let's take the most popular one here and download this one as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare them. So we have this first slide here that we got online. And here we can see that we have some 25 something slides, which contain some content and placeholders that we can use and we can just type over. So we have some title slides, table of content, introduction, and some more slides. On the second one, we also have like a title slide with some picture placeholders, table of content, introduction, client overview, like the regular slides that we have. Also in this, I think there's something like 20-ish slides available. And we're going to compare it with one of my own decks. So we have a title slide, chapter slide, some introductions, some agendas, some examples here. So over here, we can see 100 different slides that have been designed in a nice way and using that template. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to compare these 3 decks with each other on 5 different points to sort of see if they match your preferences and your needs. So you can make an informed decision on whichever ones you buy online, because that is what it's all about. It's not that one is particularly better at the other. It's just some use cases might be totally different for your needs. Let's start with the first one, which is slide layouts. Now, the first thing we want to check is the slide layouts, of course, and this we find here in the new slides section. So what we can instantly see here is that there's 25 different layouts made, but they don't really contain on any of the elements. So if I select layout 1, this is an entirely blank slide. Also layout 2 is entirely blank. Layout 3 contains a picture placeholder. And all of the other ones as well, they're either blank or they contain a picture placeholder, and that is it. Which means if we ever want to add a title, well, we have to manually drag a text box, add your title here. If we don't need that placeholder, we remove it and we sort of have to type in our content. Bullet point goes here. And this is how you start to work. So this is already not a very good sign that you don't have any layouts available. Let's check the other ones, because that is basically how a slide is built. If you want to quickly add a new slide or something, maybe you want to present a theme, well, it's very hard to start from any of those slides and say like, meet the theme. And then you have to sort of increase the font sizes, add different text boxes, and this is where the manual effort will start. Now what you want to have is you want to have multiple layouts that you can choose from. So you want to at least have these standard 9 slide layouts from PowerPoint, but then, for example, you have an agenda, you can instantly start typing. So today's agenda, we do like a welcome, we do a meet the team product, launch, and so forth. So that is basically the first thing that you want to check, is that you have the different layouts. If you want to have something like this, well, you can just start typing your content. If you want to have maybe something with a large image on the slide, you can do that here as well. So type in your content and it automatically adjusts, and you just add your own content here below. So that is the first sign that you want to look for, so that you have something which can work and can work at scale. And this also means that you can change the layout orientation. So for example, you can choose different layouts and you can switch in between those with minimal effort. And that is what it's all about. We want to have that consistency. We want to have that flexibility. And that is really difficult if you don't have any layouts. You basically have no starting points, and all of the efforts you do are going to be manual. So if you have content that fits one-on-one, that's perfectly fine. But as soon as you want to add something new to the slide, that becomes very difficult and tricky. And that is what we want to avoid. We want to avoid all that manual effort. Now, a second point we want to pay attention to is that we have a solid theme. So we can add our own branding to it, and we can really make it custom and our own. And also for that, we're going to do a quick check here. So what we have is we select one of the objects. We can instantly see the color palette. So we see there's like dark and light colors, and then there's this accent color, that orange that I use for the entire deck, which seems to be fine. So they seem to be using that orange throughout the deck. And then we have some fill colors as well. If we go to View and Slide Master, and we open up this Colors tab, Customize Colors, here we have the accent color. So let's say our brand is, for example, yellow. So we change that to a yellow, and I'm going to save that here to Custom Yellow Brand. And I press Save, close it, and close the Slide Master. Then we can see in the front end, normally everything should change to that yellow, but we can see that there's already a few items that stay orange. And also here, we see that it's happening on multiple slides. So that is a sign that not everything has been nicely connected and not everything is color coded. So a lot of the things are, but a lot of the things are also not color coded. So we want to sort of avoid that, because this is going to give us quite a lot of manual effort. If we want to change all of these things, that means we have to try to select all of the objects, which is already hard in the first place. And then you have to sort of give it that graphics fill color, and then you sort of have to do it in the right way. So that is not a very good sign for this, that we don't have the colors in place. Now let's move to the next one. And here, let's try to find the color palette. So we can see they're using similar, so light, dark, that is good. And then we have yellow, blue, and then that Venom green. So this Venom green, let's say that is our brand color. And we also want to make it, let's say, purple in this case. So what we're going to do is we go to View, Slide Master, Colors, Customize Colors. And here we change that color to purple. Press Save. And this is already looking good. So it seems to change all of the things. So the words, they change to that color, which is already nice. I think this was the first accent color, so that is good. But the other ones, they are changing. So that is already a good sign that that color has changed throughout the entire deck. So that is a good point for this one. Now let's move to the next one. And this one here, the deck that we build ourselves. Let's go to the Slide Master, and also here we change the colors, and we do that purple. We change it maybe to like a red color, like a nice red color. We save it, and also here we see the entire deck has changed. All of the slides are now in your brand color. So this is how fast it can go. You don't want to do any manual tweaking if it comes to colors, at least not if you do it intentionally. So unless you do it intentionally, you want to have that automated. So that is what we want. We want to have our text, we want to have our background styles. Everything needs to be adaptable automatically. So that really saves us a lot of time. Now, besides colors, there's also fonts that are connected to our brand. So we want to be able to change our fonts, the headings, and the body of the text of the PowerPoint presentation and really make it fit our brand. So let's see if this works as well. So for that, we're going to look at the themes. So when it comes to PowerPoint, there's two things. There's theme fonts, so there's headings, and then there's body text. And this already seems to be set up right for that presentation, so that is already good. If we go to View, Slide Master, and we change the font pair to something extreme that we can easily spot, like a Garamond, and we close it, the entire presentation should shift to that. So this is already very good. That is set up right. So you see how it can really work very fast if you do it in a right way. And if it's set up in the right way, you don't have to do any manual changes. And that is what it's all about. So this deck does that very well. Let's go to the other one. And also here we set up the Slide Master. We go to, let's do the same, Garamond, close it. And also here, it does it very well. So now the Garamond header and body seems to be set up right. Now, if I pay close attention, what I can see here is they've selected the body text, but the title, so this is the title, basically also is that body text. So this means if you ever want to change that and have a different font pair, so let's do that, slide master fonts, and let's take like a combination of fonts. So for example, which one shall we take? Arial for the titles, and Times New Roman, so we have that sans serif serif combination, and we can see that everything is now sans serif. So everything is in that Times New Roman. So nothing is tagged. The headers are not tagged with that font, which again, it's not the end of the world, but it's just a lot of manual effort if you have to do it. And if you have to make your slide look right, that is something which you don't want to do, especially if your projects start to scale up. And if you work with like multiple different slides, you don't want to have this. So let's see how that works in our deck here. So also here we go to slide master, fonts. Let's change it to Garamond, and you can see already the slide master changes and everything nicely changes. So all of the text, titles, things, everything nicely changes accordingly with that font. So again, it's just one simple click that will help you in so many ways. So that brings us to the next one, which is going to be image placeholders. And all of our presentations, they contain a lot of images nowadays. I mean, it just makes sense. You want to have something visual on the slide, and we want to add that in our presentation. Now we're going to check the templates for image placeholders and how easily we can add our own content to it. So let's start with this one here. And if we pick a slide with an image, I think there was an image placeholder here. There we have it. So if we go to insert, icons, and we do images, and let's say we do building, and we grab that building and we insert it, it should fit in nicely. So this is already looking good. It nicely fits in that box. Also, if you delete it, that placeholder stays in place. So that is really good that a template works with these placeholders. Now, a little bit of a downside for this one, if you want to use it in larger projects, is that if you start from this, so it nicely snaps, but then you have to add your own content next to it. So like the titles and all of these things. So you can start from an image placeholder, but without having to or be able to change those layouts in a very sensible way, that is not something which looks very good. But keep in mind that you have to add your own text to it. So that might require some manual. And also here, let's do the same thing, building and insert. And also here that nicely inserts. So that looks very good. But if you want to change the layouts, keep in mind, if I do, for example, something like this, you see this is where the text doesn't have any placeholders, the image do have placeholders. So we sort of mess up things here a little bit. So we want to rearrange that. We want to reposition everything. If I add another image, it fills in the placeholder, but the rest of the things we sort of have to do manually, and this is going to take quite some time and quite some experience in layouting a nice slide. So this is where a lot of people might go wrong, or at least get a little bit frustrated because these layouts are not available. If you ever want to switch between things, you see how the placeholders switch, but the text and the content doesn't. And that is something you have to keep in mind. So now let's compare that to the other one here. So let's take just like this, go to insert, icons, and let's do building, take the same one and just add that here. And it also nicely snaps in place. Now, if we want to change this to, for example, a different layout, well, we can easily do that. We can, for example, switch to like this, and you see how the layout, I'll put it on full screen, how the layout nicely adapts. And that is exactly what we want to achieve. That is what we want to have. We want to have that flexibility. We want to have that option to change the different layouts of our presentation. So that will just save us so much time. We can easily skip through those slides. And this is something which is going to be especially important in the future with Copilot and AI designers like design suggestion in PowerPoint. Because basically what it does is PowerPoint understands the components that it has. So it has titles, it has content blocks, it has images, placeholders, all of these things. And if you use them right, PowerPoint and Copilot and AI tools, well, they understand that these have to shuffle around. And if we put loose elements on the slide, like text boxes and images without placeholders, well, it doesn't know what to do with it and everything stays fixed, but some of the things might shift around. And that gave us that issue where the layouts are sort of messed up. So let's see how that works. So let's start here. And if we close everything, and if we go to design suggestions, what we have here, now we can see that Copilot doesn't give us any suggestions. So we can see that it is not recognizing the content that is on the slide, unless you're using one of the placeholders, and then it sort of gives us alternatives. But again, these don't look like they belong to the brand, where they don't, I'll put it on full screen again, they don't look like they don't belong to the brand. Like some of them are curved, some of them are circular, full screen with some different angles, with some weird graphics around it. So that is not something we want. And especially with the other slides with some content on it, we get no suggestions from designer. We get no suggestions from Copilot. So this is a sign that we're using not the right components from PowerPoint, and we're sort of overcomplicating it for ourselves and for PowerPoint. So let's move to the other one. And also here, I'm going to do that same trick. So open up design suggestions. And as well here, we don't get recommendations from PowerPoint. We don't get any suggestions. So this will just make our life harder, and we don't have anything to sort of navigate and swap it around with. And now let's compare that with the other one here. So if we have some design suggestions, so I'm going to click that on. And because we use these components, it will actually give us some really nice results from our templates. So we can start to use, and we can start to, put it on full screen. We can start to use some of the contents from that template that we're using. You can see we're even using those theme colors. So if I ever change that to, for example, a different color, so let's do green, for example, everything nicely changes. And also these suggestions, they will change accordingly. And that is exactly what we want to have in our presentation. And it really doesn't matter if you use any of the colors, it will all automatically adjust. Now, even if we use, for example, a blank slide, let's do it for the title. So meet the team. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some pictures. So it's giving us some suggestions, which is nice, all from that slide master, from that template. So that's what we want. But let's close it for now, and let's add some images to the slide. So icons, and I'm going to add some portraits of people. So 1, 2, let's do 3 and 4. Insert them to the slide, and then I go to home and design suggestions, because this looks quite messy right now. We don't have anything nice on the slide, but you see what it does? It picks up the information from the template, and it will instantly make it fit our slide and fit with the brand. So it even gives us some proposals of how we can do it in the right way, the way that you set it up. So you can instantly start typing in the information that you have, and you can start typing in the people's names and the content that you need. And even if you have to even change that, so for example, you want to do it like this, it keeps that content intact. So that is what we want to achieve. And even if we want to add a fifth one, well, here we get some suggestions to really make that jump. So that is exactly what we want to achieve and how we want to sort of save time. So now we've seen 5 ways of what a good presentation can actually do if it's built in the right way. But yet again, I want to mention that none of the templates are bad, but it really depends on the use case. So if you have content that fits one-on-one with what you see in the demo, then it's fine. But if you want something that is more robust and that will take you a longer way, well, then you need a solid template with a solid structure and a solid slide master. So if you're interested in that, you can find all of the information in the description below, but I just want to make you aware that there's differences out there. So pick one that you need and test them on these 5 things. If you need them, of course. If you don't, that's fine. But if you need them, make sure that you check them so that you can